So last week, Jesus was telling his disciples about what would happen at the end of the age. And then he told them three parables about the end of the age. He said, at that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins waiting for a wedding. You guys ever had to wait a long time for something?
Yep.
Well, these 10 virgins had to wait for the bridegroom to come. And they took their lamps and they went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were wise and 5 of them were foolish. The foolish ones brought their lamps, but they didn't bring any oil. But the 5 wise virgins brought their lamps and they brought jars of oil to refill them with later. Now the bridegroom was a long time in coming, and they all became drowsy and they fell asleep. And at midnight the cry rang out, "Here's the bridegroom, come out to meet him." And all the virgins woke up and they trimmed their lamps. But the foolish ones said, "Give us some of your oil, our lamps are going out." And the wise ones responded and said, "No, there may not be enough for both us and you. Instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." So they left to buy oil. But while they were gone, the bridegroom arrived. And they went in, and all the 5 wise virgins went in too. And the wedding feast began. But then they closed the door and they locked it shut. Later, the 5 foolish virgins came back. And they said, "Lord, Lord, open the door for us." But he replied, "Truly, I don't know you. Therefore keep watch, because you don't know the day or the hour." And then Jesus told them another parable. He said, "It will be like a man going on a journey, who called his servants together and entrusted his wealth to them. To one servant he gave 5 bags of gold, and to another he gave 2 bags of gold, and to the last one he gave 1 bag of gold. He said to put his money to work while he was gone. So the man who received 5 talents went at once and put his master's money to work. And the one who received 2 talents also went and put his master's money to work again. But the foolish one, he didn't put his master's money to work. He dug a hole and buried his master's gold. Now after a long time, the master returned. And he came and he settled accounts with his servants. And the one to whom was given 5 talents, he came and said, "Master, you entrusted me with 5 talents of gold. See, I have gotten 5 more." The master said, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share in your master's happiness." And the man with 2 bags of gold also came. "Master," he said, "you entrusted me with 2 bags of gold. See, I have gained 2 more." The master said, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share in your master's happiness." And then the man who received 1 bag of gold came. "Master," he said, "I knew that you are a hard man, harvesting where you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid, and I went out and hid your gold in the ground. See, here is what belongs to you." And his master was very angry. He said, "You wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. Well then, you should have put my money on deposit with the bankers, so that when I returned, I would have received it back with interest. So take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags, for whoever has will be given more, and whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. And throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." And Jesus told them yet another parable. Said, "When the Son of Man comes in all his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right, and the goats on his left. And the king will say to those on the right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father. Take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me.' Then the righteous will answer him, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?' And the king will reply, 'Truly I tell you, whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me.' Then he will say to those on his left, 'Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me.' They also will answer, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty, or a stranger, or needing clothes, or sick or in prison, and did not help you?' And he will reply, 'Truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me.' And they will go away into eternal punishment,
Into hell.
but the righteous to eternal life."
Dad, is that heaven?
Yes. All right.